Hi, I'm Grace Chamolu from Product Management Festival. Thank you so much for joining us today for this information session on the Product Management Executive Program. I have some slides that I'd like to share with you, and then we'll be sure to get into some questions that we received. What is the Product Management Executive Program? It's an accelerated executive level leadership development and advanced product management program, and is brought to you by the Product Management Festival and INSEAD. What I'll be going over today is more information about the program, who is it for, how would it benefit participants, the faculty, as well as the sample schedule, and some of the feedback that we've received. And of course, I'll also go into how to apply. For those of you who don't know us, Product Management Festival is an organization whose mission is to amplify the impact of product management globally, not only on the products themselves, but also on the organizations, and to help product managers be more successful. We had been hearing from the people we meet through our annual conferences and local initiatives that there was a desire and need for more resources and training, not just for the standard product management and leadership topics, but also for areas more relevant at the executive level. As product managers' careers progress, their roles shift to start focusing on more strategic areas, such as shaping and influencing the organization. Therefore, the standard product management education becomes insufficient at this point. And so we partnered with INSEAD, a leader in executive education and the #1 ranked international business school 2 years in a row by Financial Times. Through this program, you'll gain the tools, knowledge, and know-how to lead effectively and to amplify your impact on the organization. The upcoming programs are coming up in end of November, the 26th to the 30th, and the next one after that will be on the 1st to the 5th of April. These two are both held at INSEAD's Fontainebleau, France campus, and then we'll have one in the fall in Singapore on their INSEAD Asia campus. And I'd like to just point out here that each program is independent of the other. You do not need to travel to both campuses to complete the program. This program is for current and rising product management executives. It will be relevant to those who are transitioning into the executive level and wish to accelerate their learning or be more aware of what areas will need to be developed, such as a different level of communication or execution as they make their next career move. It's also for current product management executives who wish to refine their executive level skills. Sometimes we don't have the benefit of a mentor, and on-the-job training can sometimes only go so far, especially if you are entering uncharted territory with the company. This program can help expose you to additional tools, scenarios, experiences, and processes that could help you. We will be covering advanced product management topics, so it will be taught at the level of someone who already has had a fair number of years of product management experience, or at least exposure. How would this program benefit you? I'll go through 5 reasons, though there are many more. The first is in acknowledging and developing your leadership style so you can lead yourself and your organization through growth and change. At the executive level, you have so much more power, but as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's critical you understand your leadership style and how you impact others. And you can develop your capacity to exercise your leadership effectively and responsibly within your organization, because then you can better understand how to affect change. As product managers progress in their careers, their responsibilities start to shift. We rely on our ability to lead through the organization, ability to influence and navigate through networks and get the job done. And at the executive level, This ability to lead and influence continues and with greater impact. If you thought being a product manager was tough, having all that responsibility with no authority, just think of how it will be having to influence stakeholders at the executive level and who are all your peers. I found this quote from a Forbes article and thought it insightful. The dynamics will change. You're a leader to a group of other leaders. The second benefit is effectively building, developing, and retaining your teams. And that requires understanding of your impact on group dynamics. I think it goes without saying that it's pretty hard to grow and develop a product team if you don't have a good hold on retention. Turnover costs can range from 93 to 200% of an exiting employee's salary. And I'll also note that this is from an article that's titled Voluntary Turnover. They usually leave their bosses and not their jobs. If you need to scale your team, retention is key. But this is not just about being a good manager. This is also about understanding your impact on group dynamics, on how to effectively use your networks, and how to use your team in a sustainable way, and how to develop and manage product management. Managing product management culture is quite critical. Most of us need to work hard to learn how to be good and effective managers and leaders. And as that responsibility grows, I challenge you to strive to be the executive that great team members want to work with, or be the executive that you would want to work with. Complementing the leadership sessions, we will have product management specific sessions that are taught by guest speakers who are currently heading up their product management organizations at their companies. They will give you insight into what they've learned, their successes and mistakes, and provide you with practical, actionable information that you can apply or look into applying once you get back home. Some of us don't have the benefits of mentors, especially at the executive level where there are fewer PM execs, or there are mentors available at the executive level, but they don't have insight into what product management specific challenges you might face. This program can help with that. And while many of us learn from on-the-job training, which I'm a big fan of, sometimes we don't have the luxury of time to learn from our mistakes. Sometimes we also don't have the financial leeway to make too many large-scale mistakes. So learn from those who have come before you. And as I like to think of it, don't repeat mistakes that you can already sidestep. If you're going to make mistakes, go make new ones you can learn from. Another benefit of the program is the focus on critical softer skills that are often overlooked. Many feel like they've worked on areas like communications, negotiations, networking, and think they're all set. But these are skills that always could use refining. And now you're in an executive role where you're communicating with groups you may not have had to before. A board, investors, strategic partners, the press. Your words have farther reach and greater and bigger implications and impact. Your communication can potentially affect stock price, land or lose a key client or partner, trigger a lawsuit if we go extreme. The list can go on. You'll need to be ever mindful of your communication style and other soft skills. This program will help you refine and strengthen those skills and increase your self-awareness so you can maximize those soft skills to your advantage. Finally, I think we've probably all have already heard about how important it is to network. Most organizations don't have teams of product managers around, so oftentimes we hear how product managers feel they're alone in their situations. But after meeting other PMs, such as at an event like PMF or a local meetup group, or reading articles and books, they realize that many of the problems are actually experienced by so many others. This program will be bringing senior level product managers together. You will not only learn from the faculty, but also from each other. You'll become part of a community from which you will reap the benefit for years to come. This program is not possible without our faculty. Our program director is Noah Askin, who is an assistant professor of organizational behavior at INSEAD, and he teaches the executive education classes, as well as the organizational design and leadership courses in the core MBA program. He's also received a Dean's Commendation for Excellence in Teaching as well. We'll also have guest speakers who are product management executives at their respective organizations and will be sharing their lessons learned with you. In the interest of time, I won't go over every name right now, but please know that you can find the faculty information on our program website. And we also get asked quite a bit about a schedule. So this is a sample schedule of what would look like. It's a 5-day program, and 3 of the days are led by Noah Askin, and on the leadership side of things. And so that's the light green area. And you'll go through areas such as exploring your leadership style and feedback and gaining greater self-awareness about how you're impacting others and how you're being perceived. There's also a look at some using of informal authority like power and status. You'll be looking at a lot around culture management. And then from the dark blue side, 2 days will be on the advanced product management topics. And these are taught by guest faculty who are product management leaders at their own organizations. And so some of the topics would be, for example, scaling organization or the product. In terms of stakeholder management, it might be how to manage working with the board, for example. And then the evenings, there will be social activities to help foster the networking and also just get to know people outside of the classroom. Another question that we get a lot of is the feedback that we've received about the program. So I'd like to share some brief highlights with you now. This is our class from the program that had wrapped up in France a few months ago. Of the 25 participants in that group, we had 9 C-levels, 4 were CPOs, and the others were CTOs, CMOs, and COOs who had product reporting to them. We also had 7 vice president and heads of product, and 5 director and senior PMs. They came from throughout Europe, US and Russia, and hailed from companies such as Booking.com, WeTransfer, Zipcar, Shipstead, and many others. The program received a Net Promoter Score of 87.5. And when we asked what was the single most important reason behind recommending the program, here are a few examples of the reasons cited. The content was precisely for product leaders, so there was no waste of time with topics that were unrelated. So much valuable knowledge in just 5 days. The quality of the sessions as well as the participants' conversations were very good, and it was a very stimulating program and group experience. So how can you become a part of this unique program? To apply, you can visit our website off the productmanagementfestival.com page, or you can email us for the application, and we're at exec@productmanagementfestival.com. Applications are due to INSEAD by the deadline for the respective program, and we've listed these deadlines on the website as well. And then you would receive an admissions notification decision from INSEAD, and those dates are also listed as well. But as I mentioned, you're welcome to also just email us if you have questions. So just a quick recap, we have programs coming up more immediately in November, end of November, as well as in early April in the Fontainebleau campus. It's a 5-day program where 3 of the days are on executive leadership and 2 of the days on product management specific topics. It is 9,200 euros, and you can find more information and download the program application from the website. As we wrap up, I want to share a graphic that I saw courtesy of Noah Askin from a presentation he did on the skills needed for a product manager. And he encapsulates very well what is needed to be a successful senior level product manager. And it's the brain of an engineer, the heart of a designer, the tongue of a diplomat, and the herding skills of an Australian shepherd. We can understand the types of challenges that you face as a product manager, and this program can help you become a stronger product management executive and help you amplify your impact on the organization. And so with that, thank you again for joining us for this information session. And please do feel free to reach out to us at any time if you would like more information about the program. So with this, I'll go ahead and turn it over to see if we have any questions that have come through on the chat window. As well as we also received a couple questions from beforehand that I'd like to also make sure that we get to. Okay, so one of the questions that we get often is, what does the tuition cover? So the tuition covers the program materials, the catering, and the sessions themselves. So what it does not cover are the accommodations. And so that's one of the things where, and there's also some networking sessions in the evenings, which I'll go into as well. So that is the main areas that the tuition does cover. We did get a question in also about accommodations, so I'll go into that one next. What happens when you receive the admissions notification decision? If you're accepted, then INSEAD will automatically book you a hotel reservation at the official hotel that is linked, that is associated with the program. The idea here is just to make sure that you have a place to stay when you're here for the program. You are not obligated to have to stay at that hotel, but most activities probably do take place either there, from there, around there. And so it is also used as a point of contact, but we definitely don't need, you are not obliged to stay there. If we do make the hotel reservation for you when you decide that is what you would like, and I will say majority do that option, when upon checkout, that would be when you would pay for the hotel. So the school really only handles the making the reservation for you. Then there is also a question about the evening activities and whether that's also a mandatory thing. So I think with this one, it's more about, we have several types of activities in the evening, and it's really more about, there's an opening dinner, there'll be a closing dinner, and there'll be one or two other networking type or social activity, whether it's a happy hour, apéro type thing, or it's a different type of networking activity. But the idea here is really more just for the group and the guest faculty and the professors that are involved to actually be able to all get together and bond outside the classroom. And so, no, it is definitely not something where it's mandatory and you must have to attend, but it's just highly encouraged. And I think it would be really, really something that it would be very interesting and fun. And certainly the past participants have expressed how much that they really appreciated that time outside of the classroom to bond. And so, like I said, it's not every night, but it is several of the nights. And we do understand that you are taking 5 days out of your job. And so you may need to check in with your office, for example. And so with that, that's certainly understandable. And so perhaps if you need to take a little break after the sessions are over before you join for the networking part, that is also, of course, something that you can consider. Okay, and then we also have one other question, and I also just wanted to check this. We received anything through the chat window on the side. And so it looks like then the last question we have will be about the program faculty. So will the program faculty be the same for each program is the question. It is not necessarily. And this one is also more just about, because, so Noah Askin would be, he's a program director and he's leading them. And so he would be the person that would certainly be there every time. But the idea for the other guest faculty, they are running their own product management organizations right now. And so it's really depending on their availability. And so when we look at when that program is, then we take a look at the availability of our guest lecturers, and that way we can try to match them to each other. And so that way, that's why we don't necessarily always have the same. So, with that, sometimes a few of our faculty might have some topics of interest that they particularly are have a strong passion for, or have a particularly a niche expertise on, and so we may end up highlighting that a little bit more for that program, or there might be a little bit more of a regional specific area. For example, when it comes to the Singapore program versus the France program, in that sense. So we might do a little bit of a variation there with topics as well. And so we just basically, when we take a look at after matching faculty to program, then we take a look at the topics and how they might be slightly adjusted to help maximize that program to faculty matching. So, okay, so with that, that concludes our information session for today. Thank you very much for joining. And please feel free at any time to email us at exec@productmanagementfestival.com. Thank you.